If India is spending 1.6% of GDP on healthcare, we are the one who will bring investment in healthcare in India and will make sure that public plus private together increases spending on health in India, increases investment on health in India, such that tomorrow the 60% out of pocket expense we all are doing by ourselves has to come down.
Hey folks, welcome to First Cheque Portfolio Shorts. My name is Tejas and this is a series where we speak to founders of our portfolio companies so that you get to know their team, understand what they're building and the problem they're trying to solve. If you like the content that we've been putting out, do like, share and subscribe so that we get to reach more founders and startup enthusiasts like you. Today's very special guest is Vivek from Saveo. Saveo is a B2B managed marketplace for pharmacies, bringing primary and secondary medicine market together, offering faster delivery, cheaper procurement, and better technology to pharmacies. It runs with an aim that no prescription shall bounce in India. Their aim is to streamline the supply chain by being a single distribution point and empower micro entrepreneurs with technology and sustainability. I had a really interesting conversation with Vivek, and it was really great to learn about their culture and their plans for the future. Stick around till the end of the episode to learn more. Hi Vivek, it's great to have you here. How are you today?
Hi Tejas, I'm all good. How about you?
I'm great too. So Vivek, my first question for you today is, what is the problem you're trying to solve as a startup founder and what problem is Saveo trying to solve?
So Tejas, before I say what Saveo is solving, a quick question to you. Has it ever happened in your life? You went to a pharmacy to buy medicine and you realized that you could not find the medicine on that pharmacy?
Many times.
That's exactly what we're solving. We believe in India, no prescription should bounce. We believe India is pharmacy of the world. Then why should the pharmacies in India not able to solve the medicine? So that gap which exists in India in the supply chain is what we are parting, is what we are solving with the technology. For a pharmacy, the data plus digitization plus procurement, all three sum up to prescription bounce, because ultimately you and I suffer when we go to a pharmacy to buy medicine. And also, India is a very interesting country. Why it is an interesting country? Because here 90% of the medicines sold are generics. But because doctor is writing that medicine, it becomes brand generics. But if doctor writes a brand to you, you will not be ready to change that medicine to some other brand of the same molecule. You are educated, I am educated, but still we do not have that sort of conviction on the medicine. Why? Because there is no way to check how good the quality of the medicine is. So that's where this molecule which doctor is writing becomes a brand, and that brand name for Agitral or Agicame or Agilantu, this is how it goes to the pharmacy. So basically saying that pharmacy is struggling with filling the prescription. At the same time, the patient is not so well aware about medicines. So there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap on the supply chain side here and on the knowledge side here. And exactly we believe this is the right problem to solve in India. Why this is the right problem to solve in India, Tejas? Because 18% of the overall death which happens in India, 18% of the overall death happens from treatable diseases. That basically saying that the person died because he was having fever. In our digital world, in our digital India, I cannot accept this. And let me tell you, there's always people come and say to me, Vivek, when online pharmacy is there, online doctor is there, why should he die? The honesty is that the penetration of online is just 1% in India. The penetration of online pharmacy is just 4% in China. Because health is not luxury, health is a need. When there is a need, when there is an urgency, what matters more to you is how fast I can get it. And the fastest you can get anything is hyperlocal, quick commerce. A doctor cannot come to you just because you booked a doctor on the app. Not possible, right? It's not possible. Forget about city. We all are very well, established in Bangalore, Delhi, Calcutta, Mumbai. Just go 60 kilometers beyond the city, you will see the reality. The reality is that not even a good hospital exists in tier 2 to tier 5 cities in India. And that's why we believe that by empowering the pharmacy, bringing technology to the pharmacy, who is the first line of response in tier 2 to tier 5 cities, towns in India, we will be getting closer to the patient. When the patient reaches there, the patient is able to get the early first aid, early counseling, not consultation, counseling, where the pharmacy is able to provide the medicine the patient is looking at. And tomorrow, that pharmacy can be converted into a modern community center. It's more of digital CVS health, which you can convert the pharmacies in India. So a lot of opportunity lies. But I will try to circle back again to the point I raised, that the prescription bounce should not happen in India, and that can only be solved if you solve this supply chain. If you consolidate this supply chain instead of becoming another distributor or another SaaS or another logistics play in pharma.
The problem is real, Vivek. So, can you elaborate a little more about the solution you have to this problem?
Yep. So I tried to cover the solution during the problem itself. As simple as that, Saveo is the platform where pharmacies can buy anything and everything together. We have the highest fill rate in India. We have 40,000 plus medicines across brands, across categories like branded generics, trade generics, surgical, Ayurveda, OTC, specialty, veterinary, homeopathy. You can think of a category and it's there on Saveo. So we try to make everything possible on Saveo available to the pharmacies. We do not differentiate fast moving to slow moving. We believe that if a doctor has written medicine, the pharmacy should be able to dispense. So pharmacy just logs on to Saveo mobile app. They search for the medicine or they discover via categories. They're able to place order on the app. When they place order, they do not see who the supplier is. That's the interesting part. Why? Because already pharmacy is procuring with 35 plus suppliers. If my platform becomes another play where he has to buy from 35 plus supplier, then I'm not solving his life. I'm not helping him out by saving time such that he can focus upon growing his customers. Here in Saveo, when they place an order to the Saveo, they do not place order to the supplier, but rather they place order to Saveo. So for them, Saveo becomes a digital distributor, in simple, because we are a managed marketplace. So that order comes to Saveo. Saveo is able to, so we have our own inbuilt ERP and CRM system. So our own backend clubs all those unique orders into a unique supplier order. So it's like this, 2,000 pharmacy orders, coming to the Saveo's interface. Saveo is converting them into 10 unique supplier orders. The supplier gets the order in their system, which either we provide to them, or if they already have, we integrate the APIs. So there, the supplier system, it gets auto built. It's like, again, Ajitral, 500 mg, 5 strip, Ajicam, 500 mg, 3 strips. So this way, it gets auto built in the supplier system. Supplier are able to pack it within an hour, keep it into their warehouse. And from there, we do JIT model. It's called just in time. And just in time, those medicines, those packets come from those distributors to Saveo's fulfillment center. Saveo's fulfillment center is a lean setup we do in the state, in a city where we are able to be closer to the supplier. For example, in Karnataka, our fulfillment center is in Bangalore. In Telangana, our fulfillment center is in Hyderabad. In Tamil Nadu, our fulfillment center is in Coimbatore. So there, the medicine comes up, and from those 10 unique packets, we create these 2,000 unique baskets. These baskets also has branded, generic, straight generic, surgical, all categories. And when these baskets get created, we have our route optimization system, which generates dynamic routes for delivery. And the delivery captains, these delivery captains, more of 3PL or contract, they do the delivery for us to the pharmacy. The most interesting part out of all of this is that we are able to complete this JIT process in less than 5 hours. That means the delivery is happening in less than 5 hours in the city. Beyond city, which is from 20 kilometer of the city center to up to 90 kilometer of the city center, we are able to deliver twice even. And up to 300 kilometers from the city center, which includes all the spoke satellite towns, we are able to deliver within 30 hours. And that's how the Saveo's power of SKU, catalog depth, becomes an indispensable power for the pharmacies in those smaller towns in India, and especially in the states where we are operating right now.
Amazing, Vivek. Amazing. So, can you tell me about what progress has Saveo had so far?
Hmm. So Tejas, March 2021, I'll try to be much more of a year back. So March 2021, we were doing 1 crore of monthly revenue, and we had close to 1,400 transacting pharmacies with us. And Jan 2022, which is in 10 months, we have grown from 1 crore monthly revenue to, in Indian rupees, 11 crore monthly revenue. And all realized this 11 crore monthly revenue we are doing with 3,800 plus transacting pharmacies. And till now, we have created a cohort of 7,000 plus pharmacies. So that means that there are 7,000 pharmacies in South India where we are majorly operating, who have the Saveo app, who are opening the Saveo app and checking the prices, placing order, and everything else.
Amazing, Vivek. Simply amazing. 11 crores in 10 months. That is awesome. So, can you tell me how you and your co-founders met, and what is the company culture like at Savio?
Hmm. So two questions. First of all, I'll answer the first question and the second one. So Tejas, Shivans is my mutual friend. So I have a very interesting journey. So that's where you'll be able to relate more. This is not my first startup. I belong to a pharma family. So pharma has always been in my genes. I understand pharma nuances way back from my childhood days. So college second year, we started our first company into healthcare. We were solving the problem of doctor and medical representatives, doctors in terms of continuous medical education, and medical representatives in terms of getting appointment from the doctor. In simple, we called it Docket. We tried to launch it, being in college itself when I was in IIT Kanpur. We realized after building the product that we were early to the market because doctors were not even using Android phone in 2013-14. Second, post-college, tried starting again, this time for urban mobility. There, I came to Bangalore. Here, we tried to launch Hikill, which was more of A to A, electric mobility, electric bike, rental. After running it for 2 to 3 months, the problem we started facing was that it was a very capital-intensive business. And when you're fresh out of college, you have very limited money saved from your scholarship money. We exhausted. So these two learnings for me personally was very clear that Vivek, next time you think about starting something, the timing is important. The why now is very important. And B, before you start, the startup is not a one-day journey. The startup is a life story. And when you think about building life story, you should not have multiple contingencies or multiple terms and condition in that. The first terms and condition is finance. Make sure you're sorted on your finance. And that's exactly what I did. I joined Edelweiss Financial Services Mumbai as a product manager. I worked there for 3.5 years from 2015 to 18. The moment my bank account hit the right money, I was like, bang on, let's jump out and let's start something. So I jumped out, I came to Bangalore. And Shivans, I met via my mutual friend. Shivans was already running his startup before, which was a PC gaming startup. PUBG changed the market in India, so he exited, and that's where he was working with Moonfrog Labs. But the deal which I had, I could feel that in Shivans, and so Shivans and I, we bonded very well. We started researching in the market, and by researching in the market, we realized that Anurag, who is Shivans' college senior from IIT Kharagpur, was doing a very similar research. And so coincidence happened, Anurag got onboarded. And Amit, who is my college senior, and I knew him from college. I knew he's a great coder. And I was like, Amit, we are building something exciting. Why don't you think about joining us? And that's how we all four met, and we all four started the vision of building healthcare in India, building pharmaceutical industry in India the way it should be.
Your journey is amazing, Vivek, and it's great to see how you met your co-founders. Can you tell
Yep.
us about your company culture?
I'll just add up something here, Tejas.
Sure.
So everyone thinks that Saveo started in August 2019. Yes, Saveo started in August 2019. But for me, this journey started in 2012 itself when I started my first healthcare startup.
Amazing. That's awesome. I think your previous startups or any previous experience matters a lot in what you're doing today, and that is what
Yep.
you a lot, and
Yep.
your networking as well.
True. Very true.
So my next question is about your company culture. So can you tell us about that?
Hmm. So I'll give an instance, and which is where we realize that we're not just solving the right problem, we're building the right company. So HR generally has a feedback session for every town hall in the company, and we generally have a monthly town hall in the company. In most of the feedback, two feedback which are very common, and which is what I think is the culture we are building. The first is Savio feels like a family. You randomly go to LinkedIn and just talk to any person in Savio who says, "Hey, I'm working with Savio," right? They will say, "Hey, it doesn't feel like I'm working in a company. It feels like a small family and we are solving a problem and we all working together." And the second, if you ask any of our team member, any of our family member, they will say, uh, at Savio, it doesn't feel like I am working for my manager. I'm working for company. It feels like I'm working for myself and I am owning it. That ownership is very critical to us. I tell you why, Tejas. I tell you why. Pharma as an industry has not been able to attract a lot of great talent. That simply means that there are still not many problems to be solved because we have not put a lot of technology innovation there. So when that is the case, when there's so many problems to be solved, you have to be faster. And B, you have to be self-driven because many times this may not be so motivating because the industry is also not very open to get digitized, right? You have to work with them, you have to digitize it. So that's where we try to bring that sort of ownership in people that, hey, you should think that you're helping India. You should think that you're not just doing it for yourself, right? So you have to own it so that we able to build it together. Because I personally know that I cannot do it alone. It is all of us together is what gonna solve this.
That is awesome, Vivek. And company culture is super important, and I can clearly see at Savio it is really, really nice. Awesome.
Yep.
My last question for you today is so every startup founder has this real moment in their lives where they stand still and feel that they're building something cool. So I'm sure you moment as well. Can you tell me about that particular moment?
Good question. I have to put a lot of thought here. So Tejas, I belong to a very small town in India. It's called Gorakhpur. And just 60 kilometers from Gorakhpur is where I stay, where my family stays. All through my childhood days, I used to read in newspaper that 300 children died from encephalitis. 500 children died from encephalitis. That number never used to come down. It always used to go up. And in class ninth, there was a seminar in school days where I got a chance to work upon this. So this was when I was in Navodaya in boarding school. I worked with a small team there, and we did a lot of research on encephalitis to understand what exactly it is, how does it happen, why does it happen to only children in Gorakhpur and not anywhere else, right? What exactly is the problem there? And you won't believe the one key finding there was that it's not just that we as a children of Gorakhpur are more prone to this. It's that the sort of cleanliness which should be there is not well maintained because it's highly populated. When there's a high population per kilometer, obviously the adequate facilities cannot be there. The detection of this is again the diagnosis. The late diagnosis is very high. People do not get to know that they have encephalitis until unless they visit the nearby city and visit a good hospital. And see, even they visit there, they're not able to get the right healthcare facility because it's not a very high per capita place, right? So, people travel by sleeper, general bogies, general bogies, not just sleeper bogies. Sleeper bogies still is a luxury in India. They travel by general bogies, they go to medical college, and the medicines what doctor writes were not easily available. So, it's like the cleanliness, which actually adds up to more mosquito getting, born, to healthcare facility, to the medicine availability, all coupled up together was the key reason, happening for this. So there it was very clear to me that, it doesn't happen in Japan. We call it Japanese encephalitis, and it happens in India. Isn't it a joke? It should not happen. It should not happen. And, I should solve this. I'll say that I was fortunate that I got into IT. That helped me to build a right network, learning from folks who have done great in India, and they're doing great in India. So I was fortunate there to get that opportunity. And now I'm making sure to pay back. And the wow moment happened when on Saveo platform, we were just doing a research, data analytics to find out what sort of products are uniquely ordered, which are not very common. And we realized that people were buying a lot of unique medicines on Saveo platform, like a snake anti-venom injection, and not in Bangalore city, but 300 kilometers from Bangalore, someone is buying. Can you believe this? That when a snake bites, you cannot, it's very dangerous, right? Within 24 hours, you have to get an injection. But here, someone is ready to buy from Savio, who is delivering in 24 to 30 hours there. That means it is not available there. That's why someone is placing order, a pharmacist is placing order. That's where the wow moment came for me that, yes, we are solving the right problem. The more and more we go deeper, the more and more we are able to make these medicines accessible in India, is where the problems like encephalitis will not happen again. But that being said, yes, as I mentioned in the early also, it's not just about procurement. It's data plus digitization plus supply all together. And that's exactly one by one, we will open up the lever, we will solve it. We will make sure that next time when COVID comes in India, no one has to go to Twitter to search, can someone help me with remdesivir? They can go to Savio platform and type the medicine and get to know which is the nearest supplier where the medicine is available, what is the live inventory, and they can go and buy. Even they can place orders. So a lot of those power we want to build for tomorrow. And we believe today is the right time because now today people respect health. People understand that health is also should be a priority. If India is spending 1.6% of GDP on healthcare, we are the one who will bring investment in healthcare in India. And will make sure that public plus private together increases spending on health in India, increases investment on health in India, such that tomorrow the 60% out-of-pocket expense we all are doing by ourselves has to come down.
Amazing, Vivek. Amazing. And it was really, really nice talking to you today, Vivek. And thank you for joining me today. And it was super fun.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Tejas. Thanks for your time. And thank you for arranging this.